F3 here for Singapore here in CCRL. We have a few drivers out on track already. Good old Singapore. It looks like it's going to be a dry qualifying, at least at the start of qualifying. And obviously for the race that could change, but for now, in the dry conditions, the heat is going to be something to factor in. Particularly in this qualifying and in Q3, if that still remains dry, the soft tyres could be quite hot by the end of their runs. Got, I think, Dravancini the first out on track. So I'm just going to get the all the data and stuff like that up, because I haven't done that already. Here we go. So quite a difficult lap, this one. Obviously, as I mentioned, the temps can cause issues, particularly for the pad users, but wheel users can as well have those issues. Obviously, driving style related that can have an impact, I guess. But obviously, first up here for Dravancini, first on track, purple sector 1, valid so far. Easy to invalidate over those first few corners, particularly the inside at turn 2, where it sweeps around almost a chicane-esque corner. And fairly smooth lap so far. Looks like it's going to be a solid lap time on the board. Obviously, it's going to set the benchmark for everybody else behind. A little bit of a lock up into the hairpin, but that's easily done, and not going to lose them too much time, which is the key thing there. Purple sector 2, so still valid at the moment. Got to be careful on the white line on exit there. It's quite inviting, obviously, with no curb or a barrier there. You feel like you can bring the car out wide and cross that white line, but if you do, it will invalidate the lap time. Dravancini navigating it well under the bridge now. 2 more tricky corners to go. Well, 3 including this. There's a little clip of the wall, but that's not going to cost him too much. No wing damage, no harm done. Out quite wide through the final corner, but 36.5 on the softs is the benchmark for everybody else. Who else have we got on a lap? We've got CCRL Signs goes across line 35.2. That'll be on softs as well. I need to get that information not yet fitted. So only hunted on the hards. That's a unique call. Normally you'd save the hards for Q2, but hunted at the moment. Just probably getting some practicing, getting just sort of up to speed with the track. See what the Haas here of Tom76 can do. A few cars ahead of him on laps, but we'll just see what the Haas driver can conjure up for us. Kilbro starting his lap just ahead. Tom, what's it going to be? Is it going to be able to challenge Signs up at the front? Not quite. 3/10 off of what Dravancini has done. Trying to see who else is on track. We've got, I think, Elephant. Yeah, Elephant coming to the final corner. What's it going to be? Not quite as competitive as he really needs it to be at the moment. He's, 2 seconds off what Signs has done, so he's going to have to, I think, improve a bit to make sure he gets into Q2. King's invalidated his lap. Jake's still in the pits, hunted on an invalidated lap as Spursy goes up into P2. Still 9/10 almost off of Signs ahead of him. XBL there, Haas. That's the white line that one about. XBL taking a bit of a risk, going over the inside of it, taking all the track that he can. I think he's got away with it this time as he continues to push it on through the final sector. Coming towards the final corner now, doesn't brush up against the wall like his teammate did. Through the final corner he goes, and it's going to be up there, close, marginally off of what Spursy did. P3 for XBL on a 0.1 there. See who else on the lap. I know Edu, as he comes into the pits. Kilbro, he's going to be completing his lap. There's a Renault ahead of him who should be out the way as he enters the pits yet. So Kilbro round the final corner, should be right up there. Yes, he is. Still though, what's that, about 5/10 or so off of Signs. So Signs put in a really, really solid job on that first lap. Who else is on the go? I think we've got Kings as he's starting another lap. So I'll watch what he can do as he comes through turn 1, 2 and 3. Quite tricky corners. Can cut a lot of that inside curve through turn 1, but you've got to be careful not to cut it too much. The inside curve through 3, if you get all over that, it can cause the car to slide, but King's navigating this first sector well so far. Got to be strong on the power. DRS open, of course. We head down the well, 1 or 2 DRS straights on this track, although realistically there should be a third, which Cody's haven't implemented into the game. So far, so good though for Kings. They've had his previous run, but this one's looking far, far cleaner. Right up against the wall on the exit. Possibly could have been a little bit more aggressive with that, but seeing Q1, you don't want to take too many risks, and so far, I think just getting a time on the board is the most important thing. Over the bridge we go, entering the hairpin. Easy to lock up the inside tyre. Doesn't do so. Now on the run, this is where the third DRS zone should be, but there isn't one in the game. This outside white line doesn't take any risks with the track limits. Now it's tricky corner, so you've got to be careful on the power, as it can really overheat the rear tyres, especially on the softs. He's a little bit too eager to spin those rear tyres up. The temps will build really, really quickly. Kilbro out the way nicely, entering the final few corners. It's been a fairly solid lap. This should put him top 5 and should be comfortable into Q2. There it is, top 3 for Payux Kings there. 36.0. Very, very good lap from him. Who else is on a lap? I don't think anyone else is. We've got Hunted at the moment, who's still on track, and he is actually on a lap here. Obviously the hard tyres, I doubt that we'll see him through on those. So he goes purple sector 1. Senna joins the session. Let's try and get him into the comms box. And I was like, yeah, I'm being spammed party invites by Senna. Let's get that going. Where's the mighty Senna? Try and find him through the messages. I don't know if you guys can see the messages watching, but Senna, let's give him a cheeky party invite. Let's get him in. Hello there, Mr. Craig Senna. If you'd like to include your audio. What do you mean, where have I been? We were waiting for you, my friends, and I've been busy enjoying this Q1. It's actually been quite interesting, to be honest. And obviously, you're not supposed to, well, you are supposed to be in comms today, but before this race, you weren't really. What you should be racing in this, but do you care to explain to our 10 viewers as to why you aren't racing today, Mr. Senna?
Right, good morning, good evening, everyone. Yes, as some of you may know, I had a race plan for this race, which I'm happy about anyway. I didn't want to race around here, as everybody would know from my own streams. I apologise to everyone yesterday. I barely had any sleep the day before. My sleeping pattern is absolutely all over the place. I didn't go to sleep till like 8 o'clock this morning. We got up to about 2:30 this afternoon. I've been so busy trying to do stuff for my own streams, so I apologise for that. Yes, I have a race plan. I don't really mind. I might be in F4 next week anyway, so that could be my last race in F3 in Belgium. So, what have I missed?
So obviously a little bit naughty last week, but yeah,
yes.
This week we missed. All you've missed really is just a few banker laps from everybody. Obviously we've got signs on a 35.2, which is well, it is going to see him comfortably through. Kilbro looks fairly set, as well as Kings, and then sort of as we get further down, it begins to get a little bit closer. It's got Hunted, interesting, on the hard tyres, everyone else on softs, so he's going to have to go out later on. But yeah, not too much to really go through in this session. It's not where the main action is, as Edu right up against the wall as he comes through the final sector to complete his lap. Only sees him P12 on a 37.4. So
come on, teammate,
you know,
a bit better than that.
Yeah, you know all the guys that are in here, having raced with them before. Who do you expect to see on pole today?
Well, you always have the likes of Kilbro, Webber, Spursy. I don't know if you've gone through the standings since the start of the stream.
I have not.
Nope. The championship is very, very close with 3 races to go. So the top 3 are separated by 20 points. So Spurs is winning by 2 points ahead of Webber. And then Dangerous Dan is just a little bit behind, but Kilbro's fourth. Has done a really good job since he's been promoted from F4. Some people who say maybe he could try out an F2 as well, but so it's the guys at the top really. Like Kings has been very impressive since he's come in for the last couple of races, looking very quick. Ratyak has both JM has his pace as well. Spartan's had some very good strong performances. Avoki normally qualifies up there, but yeah.
Or is he coming through the final sector up into P11? Yep, as you mentioned, Avoki there. But yeah, as you were saying about Kilbro, he's one that I was telling you at the start of the season should be tier 2. All I had to do was race him in a few 5-lappers, and I could see his pace, and yeah, he's doing well for himself at the moment, improving a lot as the weeks go by.
Well, the funny thing was, when we did the testing, I know the testing was a bit rushed because we wanted to get a season done before the next game, which is kind of timed up perfectly when we finish a week before the game actually comes out. He was actually really struggling with tests, but he's put a lot of practice in, and it's done really well for him. Kilbro should be tier 1, I don't think so, Jakey.
I mean, Jake's the sort of guy who's a bit of a crackhead. He's off his nuts with some of the things he says.
We both know what he's like anyway. He's a bit of a moron, so
exactly.
I don't take his words seriously at all. So
yeah, can't trust what the 13-year-old says, Mr. 4'3".
So yeah,
he's a unique specimen.
Also, Dips is retired, so Dips is not going to be getting any further into Q2. Interesting to see how Jake does. We're really going to lose 3 drivers anyway. Rafa Leaf, I think he's got a quali ban as well for this race, so I think that's why he's already retired.
I thought so. He retired quite early on, so I believe he does. See, a track like this is not a good place to have a quali ban, and obviously starting last, difficult to really overtake. You've only got the 1 or 2 opportunities, maybe into turn 1 if you get a good one out at the final corner, and then obviously at the end of the longest DRS straight on the circuit, and starting last, it's going to be difficult to get those moves done. As Jake, yep, that's going to be comfortably through. P7 for him in the Alpha. His teammate in the danger zone with Hunted in behind. I think both are out on track. Spartan's not on a lap, so he's going to have to get into the pits soon, and Hunted off his hard tyres. Now onto a set of softs as he, I think, prepares for his lap as he's backed out of his previous one. So we'll stick with him. I know a few other guys are on track at the moment, but Hunted, the one in the danger zone, he's the one to watch out for at the moment.
Yeah, this one makes me laugh. Like Jake's always saying in the admin channel, I should be an F4, and then he just puts himself into 8th. And you know, he's the guy that's been getting quicker every week on the wheel. And
exactly,
always complaining half the time. But
I feel like with Mr. CCRL Jake 10, he's a little bit too hard on himself. He's too humble almost. He doesn't really see his own pace. He's one, if he was put, I think, in tier 2, I think he could even challenge quite well there. Maybe not be quite up at the front, but he could hold his own in tier 2. I just think he needs that bit more confidence in himself.
His consistency in the race at the moment, like still having a few spins and all that, but I'm sure that will come to him.
That's where experience comes in. The more experience you get, the more confident you get with your setup, the more consistent you'll be. And I think that's the main thing for him, as he's shown with his quali lap there that he's got the pace to be comfortably towards the top in F3 here. And a few of these guys are almost certainly F2 pace, so he's doing well to hold his own against those guys, as Hunter's still on his lap as he clips the wall. It's not been the cleanest of laps, but it should be enough to see him through. Although I think we've got from Dangerous Dan downwards, everybody on an outlap has Hunted right up against that wall. Looks like he's struggling almost with the car, the understeer, the tyres. That front right does take a beating on these soft tyres in the dry conditions.
He needs to have a good race this weekend, because he had a bit of trouble. He was a bit naughty in Belgium, and a few drivers weren't happy for him, so he's going to have to be a bit more clean at this race. And thank you, Jesse Milo, thank you for the follow.
As Hunted, he only goes P15. That could be his last run in the session done. And he's cutting the corners to get back around, I think. That's going to be a little bit of a penalty there.
I think he's out.
Yeah, I think he will be out. I don't think he'll get round in time. So I'll watch the
says
Spartans.
he's the last, the first crackhead.
Jake thinks he's the last first crackhead.
He's the last, the first crackhead. He just said in the chat.
That's it. That's wrong because he's not me.
Well, we all know that. so it's all down to TCC Spartan then to get a lap together to get himself out of Q1.
Yeah.
I think Hunter's in trouble. Normally Spartan does qualify pretty well. He's been a bit off form recently compared to his strong showings in the first half of the season. 20 people now watching. Thank you very much, guys. Hopefully we'll get 3 more followers tonight and we'll be up to 300 followers. So thank you for all the support. Don't forget giveaways nearly coming to an end as well. Don't forget to sign up for that. Left saying, can I just chat ban Jake?
Yeah.
Time him
yeah,
out
Left
for a
is
bit,
you're free to do that. You are free to chat ban him because we're all against him talking. His free speech is nah, don't want it.
Right, like you said, overtaking is very difficult around here. And Lefted, I thought you already followed our channel like a long time ago. Unless you followed on another account, I don't know. But it's the tyre temperatures that I will struggle with around here. Like they feel good for a few laps and then all of a sudden I'm out braking myself or I'm understeering into corners, and I think it's just basically who is best at looking after their tyre work. Well, the tyre heat anyway. Always a major problem around here.
So Hunted has completed qualifying. He's done and dusted. There's no improvement for him. Avoki sees himself through, but he would have been through regardless. Now it's just Spartans who's I think made a mistake on his lap and is in the wall. Hunted is one of the most fortunate drivers in this field. Very, very lucky with that one. Spartans, a small mistake, sees him out in Q1. Dangerous Dan, I think, is on the lap as well, getting a bit of tow from Edu, but obviously no need for him to improve. P8 at the moment, that sees him comfortably through into Q2.
And then Jakey B just said again, we all know what happened in SOR Belgium. I don't know what happened there, so...
No, I don't either. I think he's trying to sort of bring up irrelevant facts, to be honest.
He's been timed out for 10 seconds, excellent.
That 10 seconds is not enough. It needs to be for about, what? How long have we got left to qualify? We've got maybe 40 minutes of quali left, and then
about
another 45 for the race. So there's about an hour and a half left if you can. Time out for that much. Brilliant.
Sparta retarded track apparently, so I'm going to have to make a note of that.
I think that was after qualifying had ended. I don't. Yeah.
Well,
he wouldn't have got anyone's way. It's a bit naughty.
But leeway for that. If it's in the middle, then it is fine.
Yeah, and he is out in Q1 anyway.
Yeah, so sadly we've lost TCC Spartan, Raphael Leafer, who had a quali ban anyway, and Dips, and then we've got a lap together. So they have got. JUB's been timed out for 6,000. Was that 6,000 seconds? Oh, brilliant! Lefted.
Oh, yeah. All right, Lefted. You're yeah, brilliant stuff, mate. Cheers for that. It's a huge dub, boss man. That yeah. All right, so out of qualifying there is Dips, Raphael, and Spartans are 3 that we've lost. Obviously, only 18 on the grid. Should be 19, but Senna's a bit of a naughty boy last week.
Yes, we know.
And so it's just the 3 that are out today. Hunted, as I said, lucky to get through. His lap wasn't the best that he could have done. And I do think if Spartan hadn't made that small mistake, he would have been able to get ahead of Hunted, but nonetheless Hunted through and into Q2 is everyone, including himself and above.
Quite a bit of a difference though between Sainz and Webber, who's second place, 4 tenths. So definitely got the advantage, but it's only Q1 anyway. And we know
exactly. Sainz did really well in that session. Yeah. I think also because if I'm not mistaken, Webber being on the pad, Sainz I think if I'm not mistaken is on the wheel, and the soft tyres here, the pad runners can last about 5 corners before they're at about 100 degrees. So that might have been a little bit of an advantage to Sainz there against Webber, and I think we'll see it a little bit closer in this session when we're on the hards and the medium compounds.
I've always felt
got Sainz out immediately.
I've always found that Singapore is a track like Monaco. You either like it or you don't. and you can really
Exactly,
tell by the time difference. When most of the time all the tiers are very close in all the other tracks, but like for me, I'd be easily a couple of seconds off the top guys' paces in F3 at the moment. Singapore is not like since like F1 2013, so
yeah. I think guys will get hashtag going. I think we go hashtag Senna for F4. I think that's the
yeah, that's what.
Let's get some hashtag Senna for F4 in the chat, please.
Because I hate Japan.
Right. Anyway, a few guys on their outlaps, hard tyres for all of them. Avoki, Edu, Dan, Elephant, and Hunted all still yet to select the harder compounds. We've got Kings, Rakiak, and Dravancini on the mediums. I wonder if they'll change to the hards, but you don't want to be doing your medium laps too early, and you definitely do not want to be on softs in this session.
No, definitely not. It'd be crazy to start on softs. Good evening, Las Vegas. Welcome to the channel as always. How's that race band left? Well, it's great, mate. I said I wasn't even going to turn up a race anyway, but if I had a race band or not. Like, he gave me an excuse not to race.
No, Senna, that's not good enough. That,
I had to. I was going to have a week
commitment
off.
to the league is not good enough. If you're saying that you're not going to turn up to a race because you don't like the track,
well, Jakey B did
I've not
for
done that
France.
in the past. Yeah, I know. I've done that in TSRL for Monaco, but that's because
everybody knows I'm committed with running the league and stuff like that, but my own personal racing, I just no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I personally enjoy this track, not for the not for the racing as such, but more just for the nature of it. It's quite a challenging track, and if you get it right, it is very, very satisfying. I think, yeah, Sainz is about to start his first lap of the session. Right on board with him for this one. Down to turn one we go, down to fourth gear. Not using too much of that inside curb, now down into second. Not going down into first for that extra rotation as he lost the back end, almost retiring the car. Lucky to get away with that one. Saved it just about. Clipped the wall and a bit of damage.
JM started lap now with a lovely gold helmet reflecting off the lights of his night race. It's very nice.
Yeah, that gold helmet working well with the Haas. Not a fan of driving the Haas personally, but the gold helmet suited it quite nicely. Onto the main DRS straight he goes. A little bit of a kink, take it nice and smoothly. As the brakes over go just after the wall changes, we can call it that. That's sort of your braking point here. Down to second, not going to first there, getting a nice run. Now into this, it's quite a fast. I find it's a little bit deceiving this corner. You can really attack it. And now, as we come towards what used to be the Singapore sling over the inside curve, which can launch the car into the outside barrier, but navigates it nicely across the bridge. We go into the hairpin. Be careful on that inside tyre. No lock up there, although I'm not sure if XPL is on ABS or not. So I might got the whole lock up thing.
I could not tell you. I don't know what.
Yeah, XPL is on ABS, so that would explain that one. But nonetheless, it's been a solid lap so far, just to keep it on the track, going well. Minimal mistakes, and this should see him with a fairly decent banker lap on this set of hards. Obviously, he'll be on the mediums later, I would have thought. So this time is more of just a sort of a sighter more than anything else. Come now towards the line. What's the time going to be? To beat 38.4. That's what everyone has to beat. Spursy across the line. He goes 38.1, a little bit ahead. Webber, he got a little bit of traffic ahead of him, although he's backed out of his lap, so nothing to be seen there just yet. Got Jake on a lap in the middle sector. He's trying to see what the...
Interested some people on mediums already. Like, looks like we're going to have 37s on Hardstone. Didn't know what a good lap would be for hards around here, but it was like be a 37.
Yeah, for tier 1 pace, obviously not representative for F3 here, but sort of a low 36, sort of high 35 would be the target there for these guys. Obviously not quite that much for obvious reasons, but
well, that's what I mean.
So far, really Kilbro leading the way.
You really see the difference in a track like this for all the tiers. It's a lot more wider, but it can be a lot more closer.
Yeah.
So I'd say like at least
left it said in the chat. Yeah, left it said in the chat. This track is ABS heaven, and I would have to agree. this section now that Dan's coming into. Yeah, easy to lock up. Obviously, as I was saying, into the hairpin here, that just a change of direction whilst braking, easy to lock up either the rear right as you're coming through the right hand kink just before the hairpin, and then obviously the front left as you're coming into the brake zone, having to turn into the hairpin. You can get both lockups at the same time, and that's enough to put the car around if your brake balance isn't perfect.
Left has said high 35s and hards. Are you mental?
Mate, it's not that insane. Like, as in like really high 35s. I mean like 35.9, 35.8. It is possible.
Well, they're going to take us down anyway for around the last couple of quarters on the mediums.
Down the mediums.
You know,
36.9.
Just over a second.
If I'm not mistaken, from yesterday, the difference in time in terms of delta between the tyres, I think it's about 1.7 between the hards and mediums. That might be a load of rubbish.
Really? Wow.
But I think that's roughly what it is. So he's a little bit of a way off. It is. It's quite sizable here. Just obviously the number of corners at this circuit, the grip that you need from the tyres. There's a massive gain between mediums and hards, and there's minimal gain between mediums and softs, obviously because the temps then come into play. Left with if you can confirm that one.
Well, Travaccini's just got a little bit slow. Kings has got a little bit wide, and 37.9. I'm sure I'd be disappointed with that. There's quite a big gap difference there. No, Piper doesn't think that guy's going to be doing 39.
That's what I was saying for F1.
In F3.
Exactly. Jake out here trying to expose people without even knowing his shit. Poor from you, Jake. Yeah. Signs into the pits. I don't think we've really got anyone on a lap at the moment. This is obviously where
Webber and Hunted on laps.
Oh, actually, yeah, Hunted, as I'm trying to change thing and it's not working.
Well, actually, Webber's slow, but
Hunted
he's off, so.
Yeah, Webber's done 2 laps on those tyres. Hunted, he's done 2 as well, but he's still pushing. Hunted really looks like he's struggling here. Obviously, we saw him making mistakes on the softs in Q1. And it looks like it's still the same on these hards in Q2.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like that. He's very confident with the car. Seems to be quite hesitant going into certain corners. And
there's the back end loss again.
Jordan's coming to pits this time and get ready for
I think he's got damage as well. I think he's got damage to his end plate on the left side. I don't think he actually hit the wall there. I think he had damage before that, which would have been hampering his lap time a little bit. As I think Kings is on an outlap. I might be wrong. Obviously he's been on the flying lap.
Thank you very much, Santi Villa Albert 078 for following the channel. Thank you very much. Welcome to CCRL. Right, so
here we go. Kings is about to start a lap. He bottled his last one. He's had to back off, save some energy, and he goes again, coming towards turn 1 over that inside curve. Real nice. Not using too much of that inside curve through turn 2. Taking it nice and easy up. Short shifting a little bit. Now come through the right-hander there, clip of the outside wall. It doesn't look like it's damaged his wing at all, so he should be fine coming through the rest of this lap. 37.9 is his current bank on the hard tyres, of course, so we should see him jump up a little bit from that time. Purple sector 1, so far so good, beating Dan's provisional pole time in this session. Obviously not pole yet, but P1 in this session. As King's backed out of his lap again. He's going to have to come back around to the pits, possibly for fuel, or he's going to go again for a 3rd lap on those medium tyres. We've got other drivers on outlaps. We've got Rakyak, Avoki, and CCRL Jake all on outlaps. Where is everybody on the track? We've got a Haas of... I'm trying to work out who the Haas is. Tom. So Tom is out on the track. So I think the first driver that will be on a lap is Avoki, then Rakyak, then Jake, then Tom. So we'll let's try and keep an eye on that as Edu is on his way out. Edu on softs.
That's interesting. And
I mean,
JQB, you have to pay
each
to
to their own.
sub on Twitch anyway. Anybody has to do that. Unless you're on Twitch Prime and you can give certain subs away while you're paying Twitch Prime. But yeah, you're going to sub a channel, you've got to pay. That's how streamers make the money.
Exactly. That and donations. And sadly not getting any yet. Right, here we go though. This is the important action. Avoki starting his medium lap. A small mistake through turn 1. Sees a correction on the steering. Just sort of... Oh, and he's in the wall. That's him backing out of that lap. So, on to Rakiak as he's just starting his. Avoki mistake through turn 1 on the exit of turn 3. Rakiak, let's see if he can do any better. Yes, he does. I think that traction control enabled for him to help him out a little bit on the exit. But it's looking good so far onto the straight. He's got a few cars ahead of him who should get out of the way nicely. Yet Javancini moves to the left-hand side, entering what is now the second sector, purple sector 1 for Rakiak. Although I've seen a lot of those, I don't know how legitimate these purple sectors are. This game is quite an interesting one, but looking good so far for Rakiak. He's getting very, very close to outside wall on the exit. But it's been a good lap up until this point. Over the inside curve, how much is he going to attack it? Leaves plenty on the cars there. Doesn't want to take any risks over that inside curve. Now into the hairpin and the exit of the bridge.
Look at a pretty good lap at the moment.
Two
It's
complete.
got purple in the
Yeah.
middle sector, so.
It's been solid. As long as he keeps this final sector clean, this should see him through into Q3.
Yeah, I can't imagine
Really
why
attacking
this,
the curves in this final sector.
Yeah, as long as he gets it, keeps it together, doesn't invalidate, I can't see why he won't get through.
Oh, little loss on the back end there. Really, really aggressive over these inside curves. Not leaving anything on the table in this final sector. Coming across the line, now this should be up on P1, but it's not. Dangerous Dan still holds on to that. 37.0 for Rakiak there. As Dan's already retired from the session, so he won't be going any faster. I want to have a look at Edu now, who's backed out of his lap.
Yeah, I'm just going
really
to watch Jake.
do
He's
Q2 on
near
those
the end
tyres?
of his lap, so I'm going to see what
Actually,
he
yeah,
does.
that is true. Have a look at what Jake can do. Up into hot laps as he comes through these final, well, technically 2 corners, I think it is. Over the line he goes. Original pole 36.8. There it is. I wonder though, obviously...
Never say you'll slow ever again, Jake. I will not.
I mean, we've still got to wait for Kilbro, Spursy and XBL, I think, to do their...
Tom's gone third.
As well as a few others behind. Webber's on a medium lap here, so he's obviously in the danger zone at the moment. P12, and looking like he's going to get knocked out if he doesn't improve on this. That purple sector 1 for him.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to see the closest person is actually to completing a lap. I think it's going to be... I think it's Elephant.
He's starting a new one.
Yeah,
He's
I'm going to keep it on Elephant.
To start one. As he actually goes into P11 there with a time that he's backed out of. So that's an interesting one. He's going again. I'm keeping an eye on what Webber's, how he's getting on at the moment. He's purple, sector 1 and 2 so far. Obviously, cars behind might be taking that later on in the session, but so far, Webber looks like he's on a flyer. Throwing the racing point around in this final sector. This looks like it should be comfortably through into Q3. ERS has depleted. No more energy as he comes across the line. Used it all and more. And 36.111 sees him definitely through. 7/10 faster what Jake did. What's Kilbro going to do? He's in this final sector as well. He's one who needs to get this lap in. Otherwise, he's going to be out in Q2.
Spursy goes quicker.
0.
Nice.
Yeah, Spursy's got a lot of pace here. I wonder what Signs and Kilbro can do. Both those two quite high up last session.
Well, Vogel's out. Vogel's out.
Kilbro.
He's not going to be able to set a lap time.
So Kilbro has completed his lap. So I'll watch on board with Signs here. Down in P15, no lap time on the board yet in this session. He was pole in Q1, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, he
now
was.
Down at the tail end in Q2, no time so far. You've got to keep this one nice and clean, even if it isn't at the top end here.
Eddie
It just
crossed
needs
the
to
line,
really.
and he just gets himself in the top 10 for now.
Yeah, I imagine he might be down in P11 or 12 once everybody completes their laps.
Well, Hunt is
So
out.
realistically,
Hunt
needs to
is
just
out.
target a piece, sort of where P7 is, 37.0. If Sainz can match that, which he should comfortably be able to do, he should be through purple middle sector.
JM around the last
session
couple
there.
of corners. Will he get into Q2? Yes, comfortably fourth position.
Yep, next wheel through. Now, Edu, as I was saying, likely to be down in P11 and 12. We've got Giovinazzi as he backs out. I think he's actually retired. I think he's crashed.
So it's all down to science. It's all down to science.
Yeah, it's all down to science. If he can keep this up nice and clean, Edu will be P11, possibly the best position for him, to be fair. Fresh choice of tyres. But here we go. Sainz, he comes on the final corner. This should be right up there, and yes, it is. Yeah, it is marginally faster than Kilbro, but still a little bit way off what his CCRL counterparts have done ahead of him, with 36.0 and a 36.1 from Webber and Spursy, respectively. I think that is this session complete. Waiting for P1 and 2 to come around into the pits, and then we are done. Might get Hunted in for a word, and Kings as well. That's a surprise. Kings was really strong in Q1, and he's out here in Q2. So I think we might get Kings and Hunted in to trial some mid-quali interviews, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Kings, we already saw messed up on his original medium run. It's definitely going to be interesting in Q3. Spurs have been quickest in Q2 this time, so like we said, we've got the likes of Spurs, Webber, Sites, Kilbro. Big shout out for Jake though. He said his lap still wasn't great, but he still got 6th. So I think the top 5 will have a chance to go for pole. So it's going to be very interesting. Thank you. We've got 32 viewers on the stream at the moment, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, but yeah, sadly we've lost my teammate. Kings was definitely a shock. Avogi normally gets into top 10 as well, but he just never seemed to get a lap together. So the 2 Red Bulls are going to have to come through the pack as well. Oh, and Hunt just got a 5 grid place penalty. I don't know why that was, but he's now going to be starting right at the back.
Yeah, he will be stone dead last with that. That's a shame for him. Let's see if we can get Kings in for some post Q2 interview, just a short one.
And thank you very much, the Tutore _NL. Thank you for following us. Thank you very much. So we're 1 follow away now, guys, from reaching 300, and that would be brilliant.
Quick, everybody, unfollow!
To get
quick,
that many. So was not expecting to have 300 before we didn't finish season 2. So thank you very much, guys, for watching.
Gonna grab Kings. If you could please invite him to the party centre. I don't think he's added on his account. I might be wrong.
Just got
lovely stuff.
Recently people viewed, recently played with.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There it is. So you want to get Hunted as well?
We'll leave Hunted this time. We'll just get Kings in. Try and keep it nice, short and sweet.
See if he joins. Ah, yes, he does join.
All right, lovely. Welcome to the Combox, Kings. If you could make sure you've included your audio to have a little interview of your Q2 there.
Before we do that, thank you very much, Apex Eddie. You now are officially the 300th follower on this account. Thank you very much. Right, there you go.
What's he win?
Well, it doesn't win anything, just gets a pat on the back.
Right, Kings, if you are there, make sure your audio is included and let us know you're there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, so obviously in Q1 your pace looks strong. You look like you'd be nice something. Looking at last week as well in Belgium, it was you'd got some real good pace there. And obviously you're out now in Q2. Can you give us a rundown of your lap? Obviously,
just before going out to the last corner, my TV started turning off, so I couldn't see it on. So I had to brake and just go off instinct, and it costed me nearly 2 seconds.
That's a shame. Obviously, it looked like you could have been up there, maybe even for the fight for pole position. Obviously, you're going to have that free choice of tyres. You can start on the hards hards or any tyre you want to. What's your plan for the race now? Obviously, being that further down the grid than you would have expected to be.
Starting P13, trying P11 on hards and keep up with the mediums and do what I can do. And then hopefully go on the mediums.
Fair enough.
Do what I can.
Yep. So, obviously, what's your, starting where you are, what's your aim in terms of position by the end of the race? Is there any target that you got for yourself, or are you just sort of focusing in the moment, just trying to take every corner as it comes?
Good points, top 5, if I could, but I know that's a stretch now on this track.
Yeah, as we know, overtaking's not an easy one here, but that sort of opposite strategy, the hards to the mediums, that could serve you well in the long run, and safety cars as well. A track like this, do you expect to see many?
Early on, if you don't see any early on, and no one spins out, we'll go with none. But the contact on the first corner, you might see one on the first lap.
Yeah. All right. Good luck for your race, mate, and I'll leave you to watch these guys in Q3, and fingers crossed you can get that top 5 that you want.
Thank you.
And I'm blaming Viper here. He said people to say to unfollow us. So we're back down to 298, and now we're stuck on 299. so we're not quite there yet. So I blame Viper for that.
I mean, you were. So if you can just make sure you go back in time to that bit, screenshot it, and then go back, you're sorted.
But anyway, guys in chat,
anyway,
let us know if who's going to get pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. Please let us know.
I'm going to go for... Ratyak is going to be the first on a lap.
Who am I going to go for?
So he's going to be the benchmark.
I think Sainz will do it.
I reckon Sainz. Yeah, both of us at the same time. Sainz, yeah. I think Sainz, he's shown a lot of pace in Q1. Obviously Q2, not the ideal session for him getting that lap time in so late, just piling on the pressure. But he seems to be able to work well on those soft tyres, and I imagine he'll be right up there. If not pole, he should be fighting for that front row of the grid. Ratyak here coming to the final corner. What's it going to be? Is the banker 37.0? I imagine that's going to be easily beaten by the likes of Sainz, Webber, Spursy, who all show a lot of pace. Elephant there goes across the line. Who's the next car? Sainz. He's completed all his DRS D rate on this lap, but coming across the line there it is, 35.4.
35.4.
That's a solid time from him. A few guys, I think Tom is into the pits.
There's with us. He thinks Sainz is going to be on pole. And then Eddie thinks
we'll see what Spursy can do though.
Dan and Kilbray. So
Spursy across line marginally. He's 1/10 about off as there goes Kilbray just ahead of Spursy as well.
Oh, where's Webber then? Webber was right there as well with these guys.
As Jake, I think, has invalidated at the final corner. Yeah, Jake invalidated at the final corner. He's going to be fuming with himself. It was a 36.1, so that would have been P5. Just shy of Dangerous Dan, who sits in P4 at the moment. Webber, as he backs out of his lap, we have XBL on his out lap, and so he'll be the next to complete a flying lap. Tom 76 backed out of his lap, as well as Webber. Jake invalidating, so 3 guys at the moment in Q3 with no time on the board. As with this rain falling, there's rain.
Oh, there is, yeah. This could be the end of qualifying.
Now, yeah, realistically, it takes a few laps here for the rain to really affect the track. For pad users, you'll find that the rain actually helps initially. It keeps the track cool, tyres are easy to manage, so you can push the car a little bit harder. So at the start of the rain phase, the track should still be as quick, if not marginally quicker. And then as the rain begins to pour, it will start to fade away. And I imagine as we get to the last few minutes of the session, there will be no real improvement for these guys. Although for Tom, Jake, and Webber, they've got to be quick to get their laps in. XBL at the moment on his flying lap, the rain just starting as he starts it, so he's quite fortunate with that respect.
Jake must be even more gutted now.
Because he's got to go all the way around. Yeah, he has invalidated at the final corner. He has to go all the way around the track, get back in, and then try and get back out nice and quickly. So Jake here could be set for a P10 start in this race, which wasn't what we thought he would get. I was hoping for him and expecting to see him sort of pushing that top 5 region, which he would have done if his lap was valid. So at the moment, it looks like it's going to be a difficult quali for him. Next row as he comes under the stadium section. Through the final few corners. How's the lap been so far? It looks fairly clean, what I've seen. Through the final corner we go. Up into P5, 36.4.
Not bad lap, but you can see that
that should be good enough.
Slower though.
Yeah, that should be good enough to keep everyone behind him from taking that position off him. Obviously, we're going to have Tom, Webber, and Jake. They all need to fight it out between themselves to get another lap in nice and quick. And seeing one Haas complete their lap as the others just starting one. So, Tom 76 F1, what can he do? The rain doesn't look like it's falling that much though. It just looks like it's sort of lingering a little bit. It's not particularly heavy. And I think it's going to take a few minutes to really settle in as we've got Ratyak back out on track. If I'm not mistaken, he's the only Williams in this session.
Yeah, but the thing is, JM was right up with the pace of the guys going into Q2 and he's a second off the pace. So I do think the track is a bit slower with this rain. And I don't think it would improve. I think Sykes got it already with even 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think the rain is starting to fall much heavier now. It was just a few drops every now and again before, and it's really picking up. You can just see Tom sliding almost as he enters the hairpin there. The front end just not gripping.
Well, I'm interested now if there's actually going to be rain in the race, because have you been told what the weather's supposed to be?
I know quali was supposed to be dry. I don't know what the race is, and I think for now it's best for us to be venturing into the unknown, not knowing what to expect. It's going to make it a bit more enjoyable.
Yeah,
don't
let
moist.
us know, guys. Don't tell us
this
what
moist
it's
Singapore has proven difficult for Tom as he's coming through this final sector. It's the grip not quite there, it seems. Across the line he goes at 38.0. Yeah, the track is definitely slower, and I think Webber's going to complete his lap obviously before Jake's even started his lap. So I imagine we're going to see it going to be signs from Kilbro, then Spursy, Dan, XBL, then Elephant, Ratyak, Tom, and then I would imagine, as long as Webber doesn't invalidate, we're going to have Webber, then Jake rounding out the top 10. As really aggressively over the inside curb there from Webber.
Well,
maybe
left to say it's probably a dry race, a moist Singapore, probably because after what you said in Germany.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're here in a very moist, soggy Singapore now. Jake starting his lap. We'll have a ride on board. I don't think we're going to see anyone else improving, and that could be invalid from just turn 2. Look at the slide on that front end. There's no front end grip.
Good evening, Top Notch. Hope you're having a good evening.
Sector 1 now complete. You just see the understeer. The front end's not gripping and the back end's sliding. Jake getting a mix of understeer and oversteer. It's really difficult to manage. Sliding out almost the barrier. You see carbon fibre on the inside there, on the exit of that left-hander. Someone's been in the wall somewhere along the line. Now across the bridge we go. Difficult when it's dry. Wet with slicks, going to be even more tricky. You just see, just like we saw with Tom, the understeer there at low speed. The front end just doesn't have that grip that it needs to get the car rotated around. And it looks like it's just going to be a P10 start for Jake Guinness. He can just about throw the car ahead of where Webber is. It's going to be difficult to do, but never say never. It's really struggling though.
Left it. Spursy is leading the championship by 2 points ahead of Webber, and then Dan is another 20 points behind. So that's the situation with this race. And 2 more to go. So I don't know why Webber's put in the chat that this could be the championship.
And there it is. There it is. Jake invalidates again. Jake not enjoying that final corner, turned in too early, and that's it done as he goes in a bit hot into turn 1. I think he's frustrated with himself. He knows he could have been top 5, and he's thrown it away.
Elliot, are you a Twitch Prime? Do you have Twitch Prime? 'Cause that's the reason why I think you've got a crown next to your name.
Are you begging for some Twitch subs here, Senna?
No, he said to the chat, anyone know why I have a crown by my name? And the only reason I can think of is that you're on Twitch Prime. I know if somebody subscribes, that's I've got to subscribe to my own channel now. They have like a number next to their name, so I do realise. I'm learning all the time about Twitch every day.
Right, if Jake and Science could please retire on track, get this done and dusted, that'd be lovely. I don't think either of them are going to improve.
I am going to go to the toilet quickly before this race starts, and I'm afraid I'm charging.
Right, as Science trying to get some donuts here. Celebrating his pole position. Got to be careful not to celebrate too early, as anything could happen in the race. But pole position for Sainz, I'm sure he's happy with that one. Well then, ladies, let's get a move on. We all want to get into the race. We've had enough of qualifying now. Always Sainz going for the overtake round the outside, entering the pits. Oh, but it's not going to. No, it's not going to be. And Jake's going to hold that position, even though it's not racing conditions at the moment. Sainz finally retires, and Jake's going to make us wait. I would honestly say that there's a qualifying ban for next week for Jake for just taking so long. Alright, good to see. Top notch. In case you missed it, Senna has gone to the toilet, so he's not here. He'll probably be back by the end of the formation lap. Good old Senna. As there is our Q3 grid. Sainz takes pole position by 1/10.5 almost to Kilbro and Spursy. Spursy to Kilbro is, what, 5,000ths of a second. Such a small margin. Puts Spursy off the front row of the grid. Dan in P4 and XBL P5. Utah Elephant doing well there in P6. Obviously getting his lap time in earlier on than those behind him, but still taking advantage of the conditions. Up in P6, Ratyak P7, Tom, then Webber, and then Jake rounds out the top 10. So here we are under the lights in Singapore. It's going to be a dry start to the race at least. I would doubt that we'll see any rain in this. Not often you see too much rain in Singapore. Obviously we had the rain at the end of quali, but not here in the race. But at the start it would seem. Waiting for all the guys to ready up. Hopefully it won't be too long until we are underway. As yeah, if you all want to get your predictions for the race in, give us your top 3. If I've got to make any call, I think Sainz, Kilbro, and who else? Sainz, Kilbro, and Spursy. I reckon we'll see those 3 guys at the top. What order they're in, I'm not too sure. Obviously, we've got Sainz on pole, but Kilbro and Spursy both really quick guys. Kings, I spoke to at the start of Q3. He's down a little bit through the order. I think P13 is his starting position, and he's going to, of course, going to have that set of hard tyres to start on. Going to be on that different strategy to everybody in the top 10. So we could see a little bit of a surprise later on in the race from him as he looks to fight his way through the field. And So never know, we could see him fighting for that podium position. Obviously, his aim being top 5. Hopefully, he can get that, if not better. And obviously, Hunted starting at the back, struggled in qualifying, and yeah, got the 5-player script penalty to serve. Not sure where he got that from, but he'll be rounding out the grid in P18. So we still wait for the first guy to ready up. Love a good little bit of loading, watching the pit lane. It's some thrilling action, it must be said. These pit crews are magnificent creatures. We've got people saying Sainz will bottle it. I mean, for him, hopefully not. It'd be a little bit embarrassing if he does, given the donuts that he did in Q3. Rakyak being supported by Musical Rocket, and Left did try to give Mr. Jake Moore some advice, saying just survive and don't get pens. I mean, that's what I did last night, and it pays off, as we got Jake readying up. So yeah, the main thing really here is track limits, keep it within the white lines, and by the end of the race you could jump a few positions. Good to hear. We are about to get underway, so it's perfect timing.
Right, so before we get underway, just want to say, as you know, Season 3 initial sign-ups are open, so if you haven't put your gamer tag yet on the Discord, please make sure you do. And if you are watching the stream and are interested in joining, this is an Xbox link for, just start asking. Go on the Twitter page.
Xbox number 1.
CCRL _racing and sign up there. We have about 70 sign-ups already. So sign-ups places are going to be limited soon. So it looks like we are going to have 5 tiers next season. The amount of people joining. So yeah.
I mean, you know my thoughts on 5 tiers, but yeah.
But we've really got 100 people already. We'll get that.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Sainz obviously leading the way the formation lap. Interesting with the tyre like strategic front. There's a few guys out of the top 10 who aren't starting on the hard tyres, which is a little bit of a shock to me. Dravancini, the first of the bunch on the medium tyres, Avoki as well, and Raphael. So it goes hard, medium, hard, medium, hard, medium, hard, and then soft, which is a very, very
Hunted on the soft, very interesting.
From Hunted. I don't know how long he expects to last on those tyres, but if Q1 was anything to go by, I think a matter of corners is the most we can really expect.
I think he's expecting at least a safety car. We probably will get one.
Yeah, I think he's praying for a safety car. Yeah, of course, F1 last night had it was 2 safety cars, wasn't it? It was one towards the early phase of the race, which sort of brought everyone close together, and then one later on in the race where all the hard runners got to switch over to the medium tyres. So strategy was thrown out the window a little bit in F1, and I wonder if we'll see similar tonight. And it could explain why some of the guys outside the top 10 aren't on the hard tyres. Obviously, if there is an early safety car, you can pit onto those hard tyres and take them to the end. So it might just be that in mind that's sort of making them start on those softer compounds. Coming towards in the formation up, obviously 18-man grid, as there's a spinner in the background. There's XBL sideways.
Who do you think is going to win the race tonight?
I've already asked predictions.
Okay,
yep.
But he might just be very good at qualifying around here. The race is a really different factor.
That is quite possible. Qualifying and the race here are 2 different animals. You need to for a track like this, quali setups and race setups do vary, at least they do for me. And obviously you've got to make sure you're able to manage those tyre temps.
Looking on the stream.
Yeah, it was XBL JM who decided a cheeky little spin would fare his tyres quite nicely, and that's going to be a little bit tricky for him off the start if they haven't cooled down by now. But we are almost complete with the formation up. Hunted bringing up the rear. In his spot he is. So try and find a nice camera angle for the people. Here we go. So we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, now 5 lights. Lights being held quite a long time. He's got a jump start there from Elephant in the background. It looks like a good start from Rakyak as well. Sainz holds the lead into turn 1. Kilbro stays in
The
second.
race point completely missed
We got a spinner.
there.
We got a spinner. XBL, not
already.
XBL. Sorry. Yeah, Tom in the background. He's off.
Yeah, I saw a
Tom
racing
Avoki
point.
and Jake. No, Jake's around.
Completely missed
Jake's got
his
damage.
braking in the first corner. Had
no.
to skip the first corner.
Yeah, that. It's difficult through turn 1, particularly on that one. Obviously, if one car goes around, it's going to collect a few others, and seemingly that's what it's done. I think Jake and Avoki possibly innocent parties in that one. From what I could see from the angle that I was given, it looked like Tom spun maybe with another car on the inside, like maybe with the side pods, or someone spun the car around, and I think it's collected Avoki and Jake, who are. It's just a shame to see. Obviously, Jake could have avoided that if his qualifying wasn't as it was. If he got that lap time in, if he'd been that bit further up the order where he probably should have been. But
that's always the
sadly for
danger
him.
with starting in the middle of the pack. It always happens.
Yeah, if you start in the middle of the pack, particularly a track like this where it's tight,
it's the
tricky.
longest race of the calendar. I'm sure there'll be a safety car. I'm sure there'll be some way he can get himself back into this. And with Tom as well, he sadly ended up in the wall.
Yeah, I imagine we will see a couple of safety cars here. Obviously, you never want to hope for a safety car, but for the 3 that have damage at the back, you hope that there's a way of them getting back into it. Elephant as well, obviously got to factor in his driving pounds, which he is serving now. That's going to drop him to the back. Not quite stone dead last. Of course, the 3 behind him have to pit for new front wings, but see what's going on towards the front. Sainz still leading the way from Kilbro, 8/10 the gap as they come around to start lap 2. Ratcat falling out of that DRS zone, 1.2 seconds the gap. Dan's looking for a move. Says yellow's in sector 3. Dan around the outside, Ratcat defending it well. No chance for the Toro Rosso to get a move done there. He looks up the inside. Yeah, that was very optimistic, half-hearted move. And I think Ratcat was always going to be turning into that corner. There was never going to be any space given, and it's fair enough. Ratcat had the corner and had the position. Dan now falls back a little bit after getting a little bit too eager down the inside, and now he's got Webber all over the back of him for company.
Well, it's the thing, Dan and Webber definitely want to get past Ratcat because their championship rival, well, Spursy mainly, is pulling away with this top 3. You know, Ratcat is already outside DRS window already, so these guys need to get past him as quickly as possible to get with the top 3s.
I mean, we've got a train here from Ratcat all the way down to Dravancini, and then Edu behind on the hard tyres. He's in P9. Actually, one who's obviously I was talking about during the formation. That was Kings. He was obviously targeting a top 5 finish. He's now in P10 off the start, gaining 3 positions. So brilliant stuff for him. As also hunted on his softs. Not really a surprise on the soft tyres that he's gained early on. And he's there in P12, having started P18. So good for him that he's up there, but he's probably have to make 2 pit stops in this race.
Yeah, well, we're coming up to DRS now. Kilbro's got a good run, so let's see if he can make the move to take the lead off the Singapore Grand Prix. He'll go and take the outside line. I think this will be quite comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think Sainz is going to fight that too much. Yeah, I think Sainz is going to sit him behind for a bit. Sainz knows that just one move there. It's not the race over, but he's made a small mistake. Damage. Sainz has damage.
And this time it has cost him. And he's got damage as well.
Yeah. 2 drivers with damage. As Dan collects. Yeah. Dan just didn't really leave space. Yeah, I think Dan's going to be in a bit of trouble. VSC deployed. Yeah, that was clumsy from Dan, and Edu really off wide.
Yeah,
well, it's a shame actually that it's not a full safety car for that. Obviously, no one retired, but obviously all the debris and such has been flung up from the number of collisions that we saw. People are going to have to come into the pits, and it would just be nice if we could get them all back together, because some of the guys are going to fall away.
Trying to go for that ambitious move down the inside.
Yeah, I missed. I missed Dan's
and he went for it
again.
He was nowhere near side by side. You know, Ratcat had the right to close the door on him, and he ended up in a wall and then seemed to get too frustrated and then kind of really closed the door and had to, especially when Dan had damage as well.
Right.
So,
I'm just having a look at the chat. Lefted, if you want any puns like that, you can get in the bin, mate. No,
Dan
none of
was
that.
very dangerous.
I'm disappointed in you, Lefted. Nah. I'm not annoyed. I'm just disappointed.
Sites is now down to third, and now Kilbro is, well, out of DRS range. He's flying now. Sites needs to be struggling.
Yeah, Science. Yeah, as I'd spotted before Dan had gone for that clumsy move. Science has picked up damage. That's where Kilbro got past easily. Science made a mistake somewhere along the line. He's picked up damage to his front wing. And as I think someone in the chat, I think it was Elliot in the chat, saying Science would bottle it. It looks like he has. He's made this race very, very difficult for himself. He'd pulled an 8/10 gap to Kilbro by the end of lap 1. And by the end of lap 2, he was soon to be overtaken by the McLaren behind him. And now it looks like he's going to get caught up with a train of cars behind him. Obviously that train, which was from P4 down to about P8 or 9, that train is now much shorter because of Dan's optimistic move. So that'll be going to the stewards, I'd have thought. And
oh, definitely. Yeah,
I imagine there will be a penalty for it. Yeah.
It's a shame what happened there, but Dan was just sadly a bit impatient.
As Edu's on Inters. That is
what?
Call it. This track does look very, very wet, it must be said.
Few Sites is now in the pit lane. And thank you very much, Travel. We are now officially on 300 followers. Thank you very much. Yeah, this time is officially
so alright, guys, you know what to do again.
No, we're not going to do that again. So,
here we go. Webber's going to have a move on Ratyak. He's going to have DRS, but what's XPL going to be able to do behind? XPL should have a run on Ratyak as well. XPL's going for a move. Ratyak's going to lose 2 positions in one straight. Ratyak squeezes XPL to the inside. I think Ratyak's held on to it. Yeah,
right, it's be interesting now. And Webber Cat Spurs.
Webber's pulled away.
The top 2 of the championship, and now second and third. Webber needs to get out of Spurs to get the championship lead.
Ratyak defending real hard. Oh, Ratyak's put him in the wall. Ratyak's put him in the wall. That's damage.
Don't really want to be going side by side run there.
Well, I mean, XPL had the right to be where he was, and Ratyak's just moved across as they get to the braking zone, and where the barrier sticks out a little bit. XPL's been pushed into it. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, Jan won't be
we've now got
that.
Avoki, sorry, on the back of Spartans.
That back down to 299 again.
Lovely stuff. Good job, lads. Keep it going.
Sake. But Spursy is actually closed up to Kilburn. It's now under a second, so Spursy is finding the pace now.
Hunter's pitted off his soft tyres. He was up in about P8, I think it was, before he pitted, and down to P13. I wonder if he'll be trying to go to the end, but he is quite a way off the lead pack. Drevensini into the pits after 4 laps on those tyres.
Must have damage.
That's probably wing damage for him. Yeah, I think obviously going back to Dan's move, we said a lot on it, but Dan's move, one of the guys who was behind him was his teammate. And I would imagine that he's gone and collected his teammate in that incident. Spursy, despite being within that DRS range and quite close, no way through. Avoki, he's going to have the next chance as Spartans uses the back end on the exit. Avoki's going to have an opportunity here. He's got damage that's going to make it difficult, but that run that he got out of the right-hander, that's seen him comfortably through. So, well, 5 laps in. Now onto lap 6, and there's a lot of drivers struggling with the track at the moment. There's signs in the pits again, I think.
Well, I'll tell you who is doing well, and that is Kings, up in 7th place, right behind Dangerous Nan now, and he's on the hards. So he's looking very good at the moment.
Kings had a really good start, and you do have to feel for signs on this one. He obviously did well in quali, but as I did say, anything could happen in the race, and he's made a mistake by things on his own as he was out the front leading when he picked up his damage. And yeah, I feel like it's just a solo mistake that's cost him a chance for a win in this race. Spursy still right on the back of Kilbro, hounding him as they're pulling away from Webber. Webber unable to keep up at the moment, dropping tenths through every corner.
Yeah, and
small mistake through turn 3.
Trying to make the move, and he's made the move. It's nice to come in to actually fix that damaged wing, but
yeah,
he's now finally got past.
I think, you know, if you're pitting about like 5 or 6, you're not gonna get a puncture. You're not quite in that territory, but you're gonna struggle with tire wear by the end of the race if there is no later safety car. So I think he's possibly just staying out at the moment, hoping for a safety car to bring back into the race and help him out. As actually Rakiak as well has damage, so that would have helped sort of mitigate any loss for JM.
Yeah, Dangerous has now
past his teammate
into the pits, so he's got on the hards. I do feel sorry for the likes of Jake, and I still don't understand why Edu went on inters. But they really need a safety car.
It might have been
really
a glitch.
on lap 7 anyways. We saw a long way to go.
And
left to say Senna and Viper, the dream comp team.
I mean, going back to the whole Inters thing, hunted in WRS around Abu Dhabi. He selected hard tyres, and the game put him on Inters even though it was dry. So I think there's possibly a game glitch that's I think there's a game glitch that does have a little bit of fun with the tyre compound that you're going to be put on, and I think that's why Edu was on the Inters. I don't think he meant to be. I wouldn't have thought he would. Edu's a bit more of a sensible driver than that, and.
These top two have a good scrap for the lead here, and if Kilbro does win this,
they are.
Spurs, even if it's the second, he still mathematically has a chance to win the title.
Kilbro wide through turn 1. This could be a chance now for Spursy. Kilbro made a mistake through turn 1. It does look like Kilbro struggles in this first sector, and it's where Spursy really closes up to the back of him. Will there be a chance now? There's the lap car of Edu coming up, which could help Kilbro to try and hold off Spursy behind him.
Sadly for Spursy though, he just can't get close enough when he is under DRS to make a move. So maybe Spursy will try and do an undercut. I think that might be the best way to get ahead of him.
Note, obviously after XBL got past Rakiak, he pulled about a second. So XBL definitely has that more pace at this stage in the race, and Rakiak just about keeping in that DRS window, although that comes up to 9/10 1 second now as Sainz sets fast up of the race, and he's coming up to the back of Raphael, who himself has had issues at the start.
So what are we expecting the medium runners to start coming in, and what lap do you think they'll start coming in?
I would say at the end of this lap to sort of about lap 12, that's when the pit window really opens for the medium runners. It's quite a wide window because some guys don't like being on the mediums here. For myself, for example, I'd only do about 8 or 9 laps on these tyres, whilst some of the guys, if they say prefer the medium tyres, if they were to manage those temps a bit better, they might want to try and use the faster tyre for a little bit longer and extend the stint. As it looks like Rakiak into the pits. Yes, he is.
And yes, Lefted, you are right. My favourite sauce is barbecue sauce. Don't know why you're asking me that, Jakey, but yes, that's my favourite sauce.
Brilliant.
So King's now up into 5th place, only 5 seconds behind JM on those hards. He's going to be flying around when he goes on those mediums.
Spursy in the first sector dropped out of DRS, but he's just about back in. That was crucial that he got back in, because that would have allowed Kilbro to just escape a little bit. There's not really much of a fight going on. We've got Sainz going up to the back of Raphael. Oh, is that not what you want? Raphael in the wall. Sainz too eager on the throttle. And he's I think that's going to go to the stewards as well. That's not
a
not
bit
great.
Scrappy from some people
VSC.
tonight.
Yeah, VSC is out. It's a shame there's no safety car.
Well, still got plenty of time for that.
Yeah, I would hope that we'll see a safety car before Edu gets lapped, so that he can get around to the back and doesn't have to sit in a in a train.
But can't he unlap himself now anyway? I've seen that a few times now.
You can, but sometimes it disqualifies you for overtaking the safety car, and it can cause a glitch where it sort of messes up the safety car and stuff. It's weird.
I hope they do have that sorted out for next game, because as we all know, that is a rule in real life. Lap cars are allowed to unlap themselves. So Spursy is now just out of DRS range now. So Kilborough has finally got that gap. So Sites and Leaf have retired, I think both in the pit lane. Not a good evening for them.
Yeah.
Especially when Sites got pole.
As you mentioned, the DRS gap there, the 1 second gap between the two of them, that was out of the final sector coming into the start of lap 10. In this first sector, Spursy does just about keep up, and I think, yeah, he's got DRS. So Spursy able to just manage himself better in that first sector, and that helped him to keep within the DRS range into maybe not into turn 1, but definitely into turn I think technically turn 6 is that left-hander at the end of the DRS straight. XBL into the pits. He's going to drop behind Rakiak, who obviously pitted a little while ago, and Dan's going to be right out behind him. A quick check to see what's going on here. Yeah, so Dan drops behind XBL, who himself has been undercut by Rakiak. Obviously that wing damage being removed essentially for Rakiak has allowed him to push a bit harder on those hard tyres, whilst XBL on his mediums and having that wing damage was just a little bit slower on that lap. And Rakiak into P8. I don't know what net position that is, but at the moment P8 in the race. Rakiak 3-second penalty though, so something to watch out as we come towards like lap 30, lap 31 towards the end of the race.
Left him wants a safety car. He's saying, "Come on, safety car."
Yeah, I would be in favour of safety car too.
We're going to have that battle again
I want
between
to see
JM and Rakiak, so hopefully he's
we are
going to keep it more clean this time, but JM does look a lot quicker than Rakiak, and he's going down
to the inside. Rakiak turns in like he's not there. That's a little bit naughty.
Luckily, nobody spun there or got any damage, but that was tight.
I think I would say, if I'm being completely honest, I think JM expected it. I think he was ready to back out of it, and he did. And Rakiak just not really leaving the space that he should have done. And I think it's going to have to be another attempt from XBL to get through. We've seen Rakiak and XBL in this race fighting a fair bit in the early stages. Looks like it's going to stay that way for the rest of this race. Hunted's out, final sector. That's the under the bridge. I think that would have been called already.
That was the VSC.
Brilliant.
Oh wow.
Brilliant. We've had 3 VSCs, but no safety cars. You love to see it. And that's any chance for XBL or Dangerous Dan to make a move. Done and dusted. There's no chance on this straight now. That's a shame. Could have seen a bit of action there, but nope.
I'm trying to say Rakiak's got lessons from me left. I'm trying to say. I believe you just said that. Right, so it's a time for the top 2 to pit in while this VSC stays out.
I don't think it's going to stay out long enough, but this should be the lap they pit. Oh no, there's a drive to penalty for Jake.
Speed under the virtual safety car.
Yep.
Oh dear,
that's the issue. When you're hosting, you speed on the safety car, you get a drive through. So Jake, a little bit silly, should have known that one. And Kilborough in. Kilborough in, Spursy stays out. I wouldn't call it an undercut as such, to be honest. I think it's more Spursy going for an overcut, if anything. Oh, there's a mistake from XBL. Dan's going to have a chance. Dan XBL going to be fighting in this final sector here. Up the inside. XBL stays around the outside, but yeah, backs out of that. Respectable driver from XBL to obviously realise when he needs to concede the position, he does so. Dangerous Dan through, and now it's Dan chasing down Rakiak.
I'm really sorry, Jacob, you are definitely a crackhead, because they left you to promote from admin and you promoted to admin. I just don't know what goes on in your head sometimes.
He's 12, allow it.
So Kilborough's actually come behind Spartans. He's been stuck in traffic.
Yeah, Spartans Kilbro was looking to the inside, obviously knowing that he's on the better tyres. Spartan's not wanting to give that up. There's a lot of lag.
I will pit this lap now.
Yeah, there's a lot of lag for Spartans there. There's through goes Kilbro. Now, I want to keep an eye on this battle here. Dangerous Dan, XBL, both of those two guys trying to chase back down Rakiak after their little fight. And I'm hoping that there's no repeat of what we had on, I think it was lap 4 in this race. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Obviously Dan's got his teammate of Javancini ahead of Rakiak, who could help him out a little bit.
Oh, definitely, it's to help Rakiak, because otherwise he's pulled away, hasn't he? Because JM was all over the back of him before he made that mistake. And Spurs is now on the pits. I want to see if he's going to be able to get out
JM
ahead.
Looking to the inside. Oh, that's a clumsy move. He really wasn't quite close to the braking there. He's gone for a little bit of a lunge. He's done well to make sure he doesn't spin that car around. He's going to have to wait for another attempt. He wasn't close enough.
So remix takes the way.
Here we go.
This will be close.
Spursy. No, it's not. Spursy's been undercut by Kilbro there. That overcut not working at all. He's going to drop out of the DRS range. He's going to drop behind Spartans as well.
Yes, I mean, the undercut is huge right here. It's such a long technical lap on fresh tyres.
Yeah.
So,
Voki out the pits. Where's he going to return to the track at?
Yes, Kings now takes the lead.
Here he comes.
He'll be out for a little
Dips
while.
versus Avoki, sorry. Avoki, the only remaining Red Bull in this race, comes out in P11 just behind Dips, who's going to still have to pit in this race. XBL is right at the back of Dan. Dan, no DRS. Here we go. Dan is going to go defensive. He looks.
Oh my God!
Oh, he's been put in a wall.
Oh my God! What happened there?
Yeah, cut away from that. Yeah, and another VSC.
We're not going to safety car tonight.
I'm on the verge of rage quitting from comms with this. This is horrific. Just give us a safety car. Make it interesting.
It was like Jam went one way, then was going to go another way.
Yeah.
And then he's hit the back.
I think.
Dan, I
think what you can call that is quite similar to the situation with Ricciardo and Verstappen in Baku 2018. Ricciardo behind, going obviously for the dummy, and obviously Dan wasn't really falling for it. He sort of held his ground, and XBL's gone into the back of him, put him in a wall, and Dan's out the race. XBL lucky to still be in it, but that's I would imagine going to be a hefty penalty to him for the next race, if not onto this race.
Yeah, I'm going to say Dan's not going to do anything wrong there, but that's going to that's really cost Dangerous Dan. I think that could be his championship over.
Yeah,
with only 2 races to go.
That's a shame.
Yes,
for him.
he'll mathematically still be in it, but if Spurs finishes second or first, that would be it.
I'm on board there with Avoki. Say the VSC goes green, go green racing again, and as the VSC ended, Avoki went into the back of Dips, who I don't think Dips really did anything wrong. He was just sort of holding his ground and not really on the throttle, and Avoki's gonna have to pit again. So after just pitting a lap ago, he's into the pits once again. Spursy now, is he gonna have a move on Spartan? He's not close enough. Spartan is 4 seconds off of Kilbro, and Spurs is still
really
behind
pulled
him.
the gap with that undercut. It's been massive.
That traffic has cost Spursy so much time. Spursy here could even be challenged by Kings for the podium. Kings,
very well
looks
could.
like,
And look at Webber's
a
only
net
a couple of seconds
P4.
behind now as well.
Yeah, so I think current positions, Kilbro leading, Spursy P2, Webber P3, and I think when Kings pits, he's going to be P4.
Yeah, so Spurs has finally got past. Sparta went very, very
Spursy
well.
getting past. Yeah. So I think Kings is going to be on for his P5 target, and he's going to be hunting down Webber and Spursy for that final podium paying position. And I'm looking forward to the end of this race. Hopefully there won't be any
I was thinking
issues with safety cars that ruin that
what
battle.
happened last season
obviously
in Singapore. No, I'm surprised we have not seen a safety car, but if the safety car did come out at the perfect time like it did last season for the hard runners,
he could be leading.
Yeah.
I remember that race all too well. I was in a net P2 behind IGN Legends, Mr. Arsif1 Karoon, and we were both on the on the hard. We were on the hards late on in the race, and as the medium runners were getting to the as the hard runners who started the race on the hards were getting to their sort of pit window, a perfectly timed safety car comes out and allows them to pit, putting myself and Kroon down in a measly I think P4 and 5 it was.
But the way this has gone, I can't see the safety car coming out because we've had 4 VSCs.
I think that's going to be it.
So the first battle
would,
I'm watching at the moment is Rakia on the back of Dravancini.
What I would love to see is a safety car come out after King's pits for his medium tyres, because then that sort of brings the field right into play. It sort of limits any gain from the safety car, but it allows the guys like Jake, Edu, Avoki, Elephant. It allows those guys to sort of come back onto the field and sort of feel like they're fighting for something. It's a shame for them that they are where they are. Some of them
I completely understand how they felt, because I got involved in race lap 1 incident in France this season, and we never had a safety car, and I was right at the back for the whole time. It was so boring on my own, so I know exactly how they feel.
As we have Dravancini right ahead of Rakiak and XBL there in P8. Spursy with the fast lap of the race now that he's clear of Sparden. Webber also clearing Sparden shortly after Spursy did. And that gap, which was about 6 seconds to Kilbro, is closing. Spursy is really, really gaining. I think King's now, those tyres, the gap between himself and Kilbro and Spursy behind, that gap's closing. It means there's going to be more work for him to do as he comes towards the pit window and has to switch on to those medium tyres.
Would you be a fair
very,
steward,
very close to the wall.
If you want to be a steward? Because I don't know if I can trust you being a steward.
No, I don't know if he's a steward. No. We've seen him. He's had a quali ban from what he did in Germany. He's awful racer, and shouldn't be allowed any form of admin, steward, anything at all.
He says he's a class steward apparently, but I somehow just don't believe that.
I would have my doubts on that personally, but
right, it's gone off.
He's in the wall.
He's in the wall.
Safety car, please.
No, it won't be.
VSC, man. I'm gonna cry.
I knew it would be a safety car because he didn't bid it.
Edu and Jake at the back, they've been teased. They've been teased by these virtual safety cars.
Would you pit now for the mediums?
Fuming. No, not at all.
No,
what, 15 or so laps, you could do it, but it would be a push.
He's going for it.
He's
going for it. Yeah, he's going for it. He's coming to pits.
I'm looking forward to this one. This is gonna reduce any loss from the pits, obviously, as the guys have to keep to their deltas. But he's gonna have awful tyre wear at the end.
Don't blame him though.
He's gonna have to manage those tyres a little bit. I don't blame him either. Yeah, I understand fully why he'd go for it. And he's not going to fall that far back. P5 at the moment. Sparden's ahead, who's still yet to pit. He's in a net P4, and he is, I want to say, about 10 seconds off Webber.
Yeah, he's a lot closer than he is now.
15 laps.
Than he would have been. I know the VSC was just ending when he come out, but he's still getting a good few seconds pitting under the safety car. And if you look at Webber is keeping nicely behind Spursy as well. And these are the top 2 in the championship as well. Very close to each other. But we're not
Webber's actually, I think Webber's slowly closing that gap. So we saw earlier, as obviously Webber being on the pad, the medium tyres on the pad is a little bit of an iffy one. You can, some have the pace, but some don't. Some struggle with the tyre temps. But once you got into the hard tyres, that's where the pad and the wheels start to level out a bit at this track. And I think that's where Webber's able to sort of hold his own, although he is falling back a little bit. But if he's made a small mistake somewhere along the line, and he was obviously 1.5 seconds off, 2 seconds now, 2.1 seconds. Always XPL very, very aggressive on the power. He really wants to get a move on here.
Well, Jake, if you really want to be a steward, you have to speak to Vettel, who's the head steward, if you said you'd actually be fair. If you really want to do it, speak to Vettel, who's the head steward.
I'd be highly against letting Jake do anything.
Oh, damn, he's tapped the wall there, so that might give James a chance to get even closer.
If you can hear any banging in the background, this is a very, very friendly household dining.
Oh, I can imagine it is. So Spursy has got the gap down to 2 seconds now. It was 4 before.
Yeah, Spursy's closing in.
Maybe.
XBL, is he going to have another lunge on a Toro Rosso? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it this time. It's going to be the same area where XBL took out the other Toro Rosso. He's going to be right on the back of Giavancini. I'm praying for no repeat. Giavancini, a poor exit. XBL's going to be close. Is he going to be close enough? Dips into the pits.
I don't think so, surely. Or is he?
He is. He's going to the outside. Late under the brakes. He's off the track. He should give that place back, but I don't think he will. If the game doesn't tell him to give it back, he won't, I don't think. As we've got yellows in sector 3. Avoki out by the looks of things, although no, just a spin, sorry.
And Lefty, why should I be a steward? I've been stewarding plenty of time. I'm a very fair steward. I'm stewarding in many different leagues.
Crackhead.
I've stewarded in many leagues. I'm very fair. So
I think that's the reasoning.
Why you don't compare me to Jakey, please? That is an insult. No offense.
No. If I were you, then I'd be taking massive offence to that, to be honest.
I am offended by that.
Yeah.
You'd see someone come to the track and say, can't be asked to give a pen. No, I would give a pen if it's
Oh, Jake, no.
Oh, he's out, is he?
I'm getting Jake in for some interviews. I'm getting Jake in for an interview.
Oh, I don't think he'll be happy.
No, it's not whether or not he's happy. I want to know what's happened to him, because obviously we didn't quite see at turn 1 what's essentially ended his race.
Well, Kings is now all over the back of Spardin. Like you said, it's still not pitted, so he needs to get past Spardin very quickly if he wants to get after a podium position. And the gap is now coming down. It's now 1.5 seconds between the top 2 as well. Spursy is not giving up on this
Kings
win.
is in that DRS 2/10. On the next, it's going to be a simple pass. King's cautious with that lag. He knows that Spardin's connection is a little bit iffy.
So he's not lagging,
but he's made the move.
Him, so, yeah.
Is he not?
No.
Oh, I guess because I'm streaming, it's sort of the connection's a little bit.
He probably is. He does lag a little bit anyway when I race with him, so it would have surprised me.
Right. We've got Jake in the party here. Make sure you include your audio, mate. Just want to find out what happened at turn 1. I caught the back end of it and a little bit of the start, but I didn't really see what happened. What happened into turn 1 for yourself and I think it was Avoki and Tom involved.
Just basically flick it steady into turn 1 as you do at Singapore. And then I just see a flying Red Bull, and then I just get taps collected by the Red Bull in the house, and then I ended up in the wall. So yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been a little bit annoyed having watched this one. Obviously, we've seen I think it's 5 VSCs now that we've seen in this race. No safety car, which would have brought you in.
Yeah.
What are your? Are you as annoyed as I am? I'm guessing you're probably even more annoyed.
Yeah, the thing
with that situation.
Like people crashing out in the tunnels, like why that's a VSC, not a full safety car. I don't quite understand. The way things were going, I was just like, a safety car is just never going to come out. So I was just like, I'm driving around for nothing. I'm not getting points, so let's just retire, really.
Yeah, obviously. It's not what we want to see. I've been praying for a safety car for about 19 laps now since that start incident. But hopefully, what's next? Japan, isn't it next?
I mean,
what are your what's Japan like for you?
I've not done it on the wheel yet, so it'll be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to practice as much as I did for this, just because you never know what's going to happen. Like, you never know if you're going to get torpedoed into turn 1 and all that, so I'll see. Maybe it'll be better in a few days, maybe I want to, but yeah.
Right, well, I'll make sure to give you my setup for that, because I know you've been using them a little bit recently. But
I mean, they've been good. It's just that I can't do races at the minute. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're new. Well, you've not been on the wheel for that long, have you? How's the feeling after however many weeks you've been on it?
I mean, I can see the improvement over 1 lap pace, but at the race pace, it's just not there.
Yeah,
it
just takes time to sort of get that confidence up with it.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I was one last question before I let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in quali Q3, another frustrating one for you.
Oh, yeah.
In this from this race tonight, saw on board with you in the moment as you sort of cut that final corner. I'm guessing you knew once you did that it would be real difficult to make any sort of gains to find any room, because I'm assuming you knew about the rain that was coming. We didn't know about it at the time on stream, but I'm assuming you did.
Yeah, I mean, it was a terrible lap, so I was just all or nothing in the final corner, and just cut it like a tit. But yeah, if I did my PB, I would have been on pole, so that's more annoying as well. But
fair enough. So, as I was saying during quali, you're one that I would have, I was hoping that would be up there, and we could see from the pace you were showing that you could have been top 5, sort of pushing for a podium this week, and obviously just wasn't quite to beat. But yeah. Thanks for coming in to give us a little bit of a chat to make this race a little bit more interesting, as we're now finally getting Spursy on the back of Kilbro, so we could be seeing a little bit of on-track action. But yeah, thank you for joining us. I'll leave you to
no worries.
To your evening.
Thank you very much. See you soon for Monopoly.
Yes. Hopefully have food quickly. Right, I'll catch you in a bit.
Alright, adios.
Right. Right, so like you're saying, Spursy is really quite up to the back of Kilburn now with 9 laps to go.
I've noticed
really
2 things got going. We've got Rakyak on the back of Elephant, battle for P9, and we've now got Spursy on the back of Kilbro for the lead. So this will get a little bit saucy. Obviously, I saw on board with Spursy here that Kilbro was an AI on the DRS straight. Okay. So I'm not sure if he's having an issue that's dropped him within that range. As we've got here, Elephant has Elephant left. Oh, that's.
Was he left?
Is he left?
Yes.
I'm watching on board to see if he's got AI inputs. Doesn't look like it. No, it looks like he is there. But it's just ghosted.
I want to say fair play to Edu. He's 1 minute behind Elephant, and he's sticking it out to see if one more person goes to get in the points. Fair play for that.
Yeah, there's not many in this community that would do that, and props to him for it. I honestly, I would give him driver of the day for it.
Yes, we all have to speak about driver of the day.
Just the mental strength to pull through 23 laps on your own in a race like this, especially when you've been just teased so often with the safety cars, VSCs left, right and centre, but no actual safety car to bring you back into the race. It must be the worst feeling in the world being in that position.
Well, at the moment, Kings and Webber are looking good with 9 and 6 play positions gained, so they could be one of the drivers of the day.
Yeah, I would honestly, I would give King's driver of the day for the race that he's had. As we saw at the start, kept it clean, kept his nose out of any danger, whilst others had their incidents. As we spoke to Jake about his, there were a few off the start. And Kilburn in the wall.
Oh no, yeah, he's at the wall, he's got loads of damage. That's it. Spursy's gonna have to win now.
Spursy will have the win, and that.
King's going to get a podium. King's going to have a podium, and
Kilbur's going to defend it. Kilbur's sticking it in.
Oh,
I think, I think that's just a ghosting glitch. They both ghosted for them, but for us they didn't. But
I was going to say,
so Spursy gifted gifted a win here by Kilbro. The smallest of mistakes, just clipped the inside of the inside curb on the bridge and threw him into lucky, really lucky not to retire. And that's going to drop him all the way down, possibly behind Spartans, depending on his pit stop time. Weber is going to be in P2 and Kings is going to be on the podium.
And they've both got a 3-second penalty. That popped up while you were speaking to Jake. They've both got a penalty. So they are racing actually on track. But Kings, I feel, like we said, I think his mediums will be going off near the end, but still, it's a very good job. So I think for me,
they will die in these last few laps.
So for me, Kings, driving today for me at the moment. And we've got a Ferrari one as well. I did check the standings for the constructors. I'll go and do that now, but this is going to be a lot of points for Ferrari.
I want to see where Kilroy comes out. I do really feel sorry for him, but at the same time, there's much sympathy as you can have for someone. It's his own mistake, and he's going to have to learn from that. It looked like maybe the pressure sort of get to him a little bit.
Concentration or something. So.
I would doubt it's a lack of concentration in that moment. Obviously, he's got a car all over the back of him. He's going to be fully focused on both the car behind him and the race that he's racing, essentially. So I doubt it was a lack of focus, just a small mistake, just feeling the pressure a bit too much, and unfortunately in the wall, it's going to be a race to learn from as opposed to a race to enjoy. And he's still maybe got a chance to sort of find his way up past Spartans, and then maybe, just maybe, up to Dravancini in P5 if he can maybe take it on penalties. I doubt he'll catch that gap in this short space of time. But yeah, I do feel for him.
This is looking very good for Spurs. If he wins this, he'll be leading the championship. We're 9 points, still not a massive gap, but still a nice good gap going in with 2 races.
Oh, I think Kilroy's going for up the inside. This is not a place to go for a move. Yeah,
frustration probably.
Kilroy's frustration is sort of getting to him. He just wants to get this done.
Oh, there's good contact.
Spartans around. As we've now got Rakiak on the back of Tom, as Tom is going to be sort of catching towards Spartans, and Spartans tyres, they're going to be through the roof with tyre temps. I can really empathise with Kilbro. I know the frustration of sort of making a mistake and trying to have to find a way back through the field, and it's just annoying when, especially when you know it's your own doing, that you sort of beat yourself up for it, and when you're still in the race, you just want to really prove to yourself that you could have done something more and get past those drivers. I think he's just a little bit too aggressive with his move, and I think that could be going to the stewards.
Are leading the constructors. They're only 17 points ahead of Ferrari at 3rd, so they could take the lead the constructors after tonight as well. So Ferrari looking very, very good, and I think his tyres are starting off a little bit now because he's not catching.
Yeah, Jake Moore in the chat is feeling for his teammate there. Both Alphas not having the races they would have wanted. Spartans obviously was doing really, really well up in he was up top 3 before obviously he pitted. He raced a fairly good race throughout. Obviously not quite as competitive as Kings was, both starting on the same tyres, but nonetheless it had been a good race. It still is. It's just not. He's not going to quite be as comfortable with those guys behind as he might otherwise have been.
No, definitely not. You can have fun musical anyway. You can have fun having those clips sent to you, because I'm sure there'll be quite a few, and I'm sure the order could change around. But Spurs is looking very good.
Kings fast up on the race.
Kings has closed the gap a little bit. It's down to 1.2.
Kings is still closing. Kings could be on for a P13 to P2 finish here.
Yeah,
this would be mega. This would be mega.
It's got to get pit stops.
Yeah, I think those, after that spin, those tyres are overheated and you can't cool them down. He's had to pit to replace them onto softs. Probably just going for the fastest lap to take that. Actually, yeah, I wonder if that's in response to Kilbro setting the fast lap after spinning him. I wonder if that's Spartan going, nope, you're not having that, I'm going to take that off you.
Why not? It's going to get points anyway.
It would not surprise me, and I can feel it. I respect for doing that. Obviously, he could have fought for P7, but I think he's just trying to sort of one-up Kilbro after that incident. And Kings 9/10 within the...
He's really going for this.
The DRS. Yeah, he's in the DRS window. We're going to have a fight. We're going to have a... I think it's going to be a fight until the bitter end. I don't see any advantage really for either as we come to lap 31 in this race. I think as we get to that stage, those mediums will be dead, and as well as the hards, which will be struggling. So I think Kings now has to use his tyres to great effect. Otherwise, he's going to start to fall away on lap 30 and 31 with the tyre wear. As Smelly Socks, what a brilliant name. Smelly Socks in the chat goes, Kings doesn't feel pressure.
Yeah, that's the other Payo guy in F4, Payo remix. So yeah, those guys are together.
Fair enough. Kilbro is actually on the back of Dravancini here, so we're going to have a double battle. Let's have a look at what Kilbro can do. Is he going to go for a lunge? I think he will. Yeah, here it is, the aggression from Kilbro. Frustrated with himself, but putting himself above Dravancini now, back up into P5. He's got penalties to deal with, and possibly post-race penalties to affect the result. So he needs to pull away in these next few laps, probably by about 5 or 10 seconds if he can. But I think that will be a bit of a struggle.
Charlie Marshall, if you have Discord, we can put you in the recruitment server. But also go on Twitter anyway. CCRL _racing, and make sure to sign up through the sign up post we got if you'd like to join for next season.
Here we go. This is King's chance. King's chance to get up into P2. Obviously he started P30 in the race. I can't say it enough. This has been an incredible drive from him, and obviously after his misfortune in Q2 with his TV, as he said, causing issues for him through the final corner, this is his chance to take the result that he could have had a fair bit easier here. He's got the DRS. He's going to be just about close enough as they get towards the braking zone. He's a little bit too far back, maybe not pushing the engine as much as he should have done. And another lap in behind, lap 28 out of 31. 3 more to go after this one.
Well, I'm going to say for like 2
2
minutes time, we are now up to 300 followers again. I swear to God, if anybody unfollows again, I'm going to go mad. Should be like 302 or something.
I mean, I'd have thought the guys who did unfollow would have followed back anyway. So, yeah. Here we go. Still another lap for Kings in behind Webber. I wonder if Webber will be able to take this as yet. Spartans takes fastest lap. That's a bit of I'd imagine a rude hand gesture to Kilbro, saying you did this to me, so I'll do this to you. And Spartans P10 with the fast lap of the race picks will provide he finishes the race, pick up 2 points from the race. Obviously he's still got Edu behind him, so he can't just retire and take what he's got, because if he does retire, Eddie will take that final point, which I must say would be fully deserved. He's done well to hang it in this long in the race. Go on board with Webber now as they come through this first sector. It's important for him. He's got enough ERS to defend, but will he have the exit that he needs? He's going to have just the edge over Kings on the tyres. Has he got the edge over Kings in outright pace?
He's doing catches, Spursy. It's 2.6 seconds now. They're both catching.
I wonder how much they're catching, because as we saw earlier, Webber was 1.5 seconds off. I wonder if maybe this is Spursy backing up a little bit. I doubt it, but maybe back up a little bit, trying to help his teammate out. Yeah, I wonder if we could be seeing a bit of Ferrari team tactics here.
Followed the channel now. 299 again. I swear to God, all you guys better follow the channel back afterwards. I swear to God. Yeah, so if you follow the Twitter, Charlie, you should see the sign-up post on the top of the Twitter page. Just fill it out.
Oh, Kings was looking for it.
And
Kings was looking
left
up the
it will
inside. Had he
let
got
me know
DRS,
then.
which the game should have, but doesn't have, as I mentioned, quality, there should be DRS on that straight. If he had that, he would have been through, but he just wasn't quite close enough. He's 2 tenths off. Kings has the pace. He should have it. Webber is struggling at the moment, and despite those tyres being dead,
Kings to be struggling with those tyres now.
yeah, Kings should be struggling, but he's not. I would honestly say it's Webber struggling more than Kings being the fastest here, because Webber is falling back from Spursy.
Yeah, it's up to
I
3
think
seconds
Webber
again
is just
now.
struggling here.
Right, so you want to put on the lap now, guys? Please put in the chat.
Driving the day.
Yeah, driving the day, please.
And also put in if you think Kings is going to get past Webber. I would put my money on it personally, but Webber's doing well so far to hold off. It's going to be a last lap overtake if Kings would do it. Put in the chat if you think that can happen, but at the moment Webber's doing really well. He's not got the pace I don't think that Spursy has as well as Kings, but he's doing what he needs to defend the position, and that is what is important. You can just see Kings hounding the back of him in this middle sector, but as they get to the final sector, Webber opens up that gap a little bit, just enough to defend into turn 1 and then to defend on the next DRS straight. You see the gap there opening to 6 tenths of a second. This is going to get tight.
And thank you for everyone following back to make it 300 again. Thank you.
Honestly, Sandra, at this point, I would stop bringing up the 300 marks. It's just people are going to keep on following after you say it.
Yeah,
I would
right.
just
No,
leave
you're
it now.
Right. No, you're right.
But anyway, here we go. It's going to be a last lap move. Kings is going to have to make a last lap overtake to get past Webber. This is going to be big. This is going to be good.
He's going to have to go for some kind of big lunge down the DRS straight to make this work.
I did just see Webber with a bit of track limit abuse, I'd call it, in that final sector. Maybe picked up a second warning, maybe one off another penalty.
Much, I think he's lost too much
Yeah,
time
King's tyres are going off. He needs to be close. Webber's not got the DRS. He's not got DRS, of course, and he's not going to have as much ERS, I don't think. No, he's not. Webber's in none. This is the chance. Kings have to make the move. He's going to go for it.
Oh, he's going. Oh, no.
Oh, he's not quite close enough. You should have gone for it, Kings.
No, I think there would have been a collision. I think there would have been a collision.
Full send. Yeah, there would have been contact, I think, but you have to go for that move. He's now stuck behind. I don't think there's going to be any way through, and I think Webber's just defending the position well enough. You can see the aggression under braking from Kings there, just taking it as late as he possibly can. He wants this move done. Is he going to go for a massive tight move up the inside in the hairpin? There's no way through here.
Oh, he's going to have a better exit here.
He's got a better exit.
Oh, no,
he's off the back end. No, Kings. Webber just has to keep it on the circuit, keep it within those white lines, and he's got this position done. P2 will be his. Spursy will cross the line in the lead, and I think he'll win the race. But Kings, it looked like he had the chance. He's had many chances to get through, and he's not taken them. Webber doing well to defend his position. Spursy, though, it's been a race for Spursy since Kilbro's mistake. I might get Kilbro in the party for an interview just to have a chat with him. But there it is, Spursy across the line to win the race. Webber in P2, 6 tenths the gap between himself and Kings. Brilliant fight for the final podium position. Well, I say for the 2 final podium positions, P2 and P3, and brilliant drive by both of them, and just a shame we didn't quite get the fight that we would have wanted. Kings obviously not quite go for the move. I would like to have seen the move being made, but
it's definitely definitely gets driving today.
Kings 100%. 100% driver today. 15 laps.
Spursy as well. He's now extended his championship to 9 points. And sadly, with Dan retiring,
maybe a little bit.
He might get some penalties for next week as well. That is putting him out of the championship really now. So it really is down between Spursy and Webber now for the last 2 races.
Drivers crossing the line, but it's not saying they've completed the race.
Oh,
What am I saying?
Because I keep having migrated host.
Yeah, that's because
Jake's
Spartan's
left. Round. Spartan's round apparently. Going across the line.
Yeah, Spartan's cross the line. What am I saying?
I don't know what's going on. We'll have to wait till the timer runs out. But also big respect to you, Eddie, completing the race. After being so far behind.
Props that one.
I would have retired a bit late, be honestly.
Yeah,
you did pretty well.
I do feel for him for that, and Jake clearly making the right call in the end to call it a day. He as you said, he wasn't really expecting there to be any safety cars after all the VSCs that we saw, and it proves that it would have been unfortunately a bit of a waste of his time if he had stayed in. No safety car in the end, only VSCs, and I guess kind of took away from the race a little bit, but also at the same time gave us that tense fight between Webber and Kings, which was extremely interesting to watch. And yeah, so we'll I don't know if you want to try and get Spursy, Webber and Kings in the party. I'll leave you to go through the interviews this week.
Oh, you don't want to do interviews, do you? Okay.
Nah, I'll leave this one to you. I got to interview Jake and Kings earlier, so I'll let you go through the interviews this time around.
Thoroughly enjoyed that. Very good battle between Kings and Webber. I know there was a bit scrappy at the beginning, but it was worth it at the end. So
yeah, do you fancy try and get Kilbro in the party as well, just to sort of get his thoughts? Obviously, not the race he would have wanted in the end, but he was running in the lead and looked like he could have fought Spursy for the win, but just the smallest of mistakes took the win away from him. Well, the chance for the win away from him. Obviously, Spursy showing a lot of pace, catching him up. But yeah.
Right, so we have got everybody in.
Make sure you include your audio, ladies.
I'll let you speak to Kilbro first, and then I'll do the podium. And if you want to speak to Kilbro, so I'll let you start after that.
I feel sorry for him, to be honest.
But make sure to tick the audio as well, guys, to make sure everyone can hear you.
Yeah, so we'll get underway. Kilbro, obviously, we saw on stream, just the smallest of mistakes took away your chances of fighting for the win. Obviously, Spursy caught you up in that sort of middle stage of the race and was applying the pressure. Just how did it all happen? What are your sort of thoughts on it? Obviously, we saw the aggression that came out in your moves afterwards, but it looked like you must have been frustrated with yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrated. Like, I'm sure everyone would be. I'm sorry to Spartan. I didn't think he was going to defend onto the inside there, to be honest, because I was on fresher tyres than him by miles. And then luckily I made it back up to fourth, but it's just disappointing still.
Yeah, I as I said, I know exactly how it feels. I guess one of the only consolations for you is that you have that comfort that it was your own mistake. You can learn from it as opposed to it being with someone else. So I guess that's the at least a positive you can take away from it. If anything, you also came home with P4 in the end. Is that obviously it's not the win you would have wanted to fight for, but is that a little bit of a positive to you as well?
Yeah, it's definitely a positive, but experience is definitely a factor in league racing at the end of the day, and I just kind of cracked under the pressure, to be honest.
Yeah, well, obviously unlucky today, mate. Obviously started on the front row of the grid, had the pace to fight for the win. Small mistake taken away from you, but in the MP4 it's still a good result. So hopefully next week. What are your thoughts on Japan as a circuit? Is it a good one for you, or
it's definitely not my best track, but I'll just practice and try my best as I usually do.
Fair enough, mate. So with that, cheers for joining us, Kilbro, and I'll leave you to interview the podium sitters.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. So welcome again, Kings. After we've spoken to you, been eliminated in Q2. You're also our driver of the day. You did a great recovery from P13 to P3. Nearly got P2. You had a really good battle with Webber. You looked very strong at the start with the hards. And then we were thinking maybe you're going to pit under the BSC, but we weren't sure how your tyres going to be at the end. But yeah, tell me how your race went, especially that battle with Webber.
Well, at the start, someone went seen one of the Red Bulls just dive up, and that obviously messed a few people up. So I gained obviously a few positions after, and just did my best. And Webber, I was just trying to put under pressure, hoping he'd make a mistake off it, and kept his composure well, and just didn't. So.
But you still must be happy though. You must have must have not thought at the time that he was going to be getting a podium, being stuck in the middle of the pack there, especially around Singapore. So you must be very happy with that third place.
Yeah, was from our top 10 to 2 races in a row. I'm pretty happy with like.
So we move on to Japan next week. Think you could be up there for another podium, or maybe the win this time?
Possibly. I do like that S is on the track. Good place for time.
Plus, I was just thinking actually, are you going to help Spursy with the championship with 2 races to go if you have to? Like, for example, you're ahead of Webber, and
yeah,
you could hold Webber
I'm
up.
contending.
So we could see some team tactics then for the last 2 races, because with you 2 in the podium tonight, you was only 17 points behind racing points, so we'll have to add that all up, but it'll be very close. We're just ahead now. So yeah, well, congratulations to podium, deserved driver of the day all day long, and a great battle. So move on to P2 with Webber. Congratulations on your P2. Sadly, you did get ahead of Spursy to take the lead of the championship, but overall, you looked more comfortable on the hards than you did on the mediums, and it looked like you was catching Spurs into the end. But yeah, just tell us your race went and that battle with Kings.
Well, I mean, I fucked up in quali, which didn't help. Probably could have definitely been challenging for like a front row, but that is what it is. And the rain came down, and that was the end of that. So I started from 9th, which weren't ideal, but then made up a good few places early on. Got up to like 6th or something. Kept pushing through the field. Mediums just aren't ideal on pad really around here. Like the temperatures are just too high. It's just a struggle. And then like obviously the hards are so much better for like temperature wise. So I pitted onto them a bit earlier, but it's definitely the right call because I was just too slow on the mediums compared to the front 2 on wheel. They were just running away with it, so I had to pit. And then I knew it was going to come down to the end with Ajax. I didn't know if his mediums would have dropped off towards the end. I don't know if they did or not, but my pace dropped off as well towards the end, and I just running like none all the way through the lap, and then just on them 2 straights, just slapping it into hot lap and overtake just to maintain the position, and that was about it.
Well, as far as I remember, I think you had a good race in Japan last season. Now, you really need to finish ahead of Spursy to close that gap going into Brazil. So, is there any chance that you could beat Spursy next week around Japan?
I mean, last year in CCRL I won Japan, but we'll see. But I mean, I think it's a bit more of a dominated wheel track than pad, so. It'll be tough to outdo Spursy, but if I can close that gap, I definitely feel confident in Brazil. So it all comes down to next week, I think, in the championship. See what happens.
Well, we will see. So well done on your 2nd place. So we'll now move on to the race winner, that is CCRL Spursy. Congratulations on your win. Do you think, if Kilbro didn't make that mistake, do you think you could have got past him for the win?
I mean, I had full confidence in my pace. I mean, he had a 6-second gap, I'd shut it. So I reckon I've definitely applied the pressure to looking for an overtake. I was going to leave it till a couple of laps left because I didn't want to, get in front and then lose it. But at the end of the day, I forced a mistake out of him. So it's really unfortunate. So I wanted to see him come P2 if I was going to win because he fully deserved it. But I suppose that's
Well,
it is what it is.
we'll have to Kilborough getting damaged and Dangerous Dan retiring, and we'll probably have penalties going into next week. It is basically down to you and Webber now for the championship, so it's up to 9 points now. Is Japan a good track? Do you think you could wrap it up next week with one race remaining?
Definitely need to practice. Not sure about the pace. We'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, don't need to win, but I'd like to. Because want to get wrapped up. Perfect scenario, but tonight was what
But
I
you're
needed.
gonna have to finish like 16 points better off than Webber, so I don't think it will be wrapped up. But
We need to
if
come
you
second
do
if he
finish,
retires, so
yeah, if you finish like first or something, then it's looking very good. But yeah, well done to the win, well done to Ferrari, great job. And so Viper, have you got anything you want to add before we finish?
Just the one for Kings. Obviously, saw in the dying stage of the race, you had the slightest of chances. I was really hoping on the stream that you'd go for that move, but you sort of thought better of it, backed out of it. What were your thoughts on that? Were you sort of back at hoping you'd be able to go for a move later on, or did you sort of know at that point that the sort of chance was gone?
I was going to try and get him on the hairpin, but I put too much throttle down and lost traction, and I didn't gain on him. And that's when I knew it. Going into second.
Yeah, it's obviously a difficult track with overtaking. It's sort of you either have to be really confident with the move, or it's not going to happen. And I can understand the backing out. I was really rooting on stream that you'd send it down the inside, but obviously too sensible for that one. And obviously, well done for making sure you keep it clean, and well done to everyone else on the podium, and Kilborough as well. Thank you for joining us for the interviews. I think, Senna, that's everything, I believe.
Yeah, well, I said very good race to watch. A bit scrappy at the start, but then after that it was very, very good. Great battle in between Kilborough and Spursy and Webber and Kings. So yeah, that is it. We've got one more race of the week tomorrow, guys, with the F2 race. That would be with Hunted and I think it's Fawn. So yeah, check that out. So we'll be on again tomorrow. Same time, same place. So we'll see you tomorrow.